All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. We're going to give you a USA Canada preview here, whether you like it or not.
We'll do our damnedest.
You're going to like it because we know where you live. Anyhow, yes, make sure you subscribe as well because, well, it helps all of us. It helps you. It helps the world. We are actually sang the All You Need Is Love anthem a couple shows ago. So if you missed that, go back. It's an incredible performance. And share it with, people that irritate you that need to learn more. That's always a good thing to do. All right, so I got through that. Brett, we've got this incredibly miserable preview to do because Gregg threw us like a total 3-4-2-1 in the last game. What the hell are we supposed to do with that as we head in towards Canada?
So obviously you can take a look at the two opponents who played. Not world beaters by any means, but Haiti was definitely better. Two different formations too.
Yeah.
So saying that the 3-4-2-1 or the 4-3-3 according to Fox Sports 1. You can't necessarily state that's exactly how we're going to play, despite the fact that we played better, we scored more goals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we're in a predicament now. We've been talking about for months how, oh man, I wish Berhalter would change it up so it's not so predictable. Now he's changed it up and it's not so predictable.
No. Does Gregg go back to the 4-3-3 for the game against Canada?
So
that's the question.
Before we talk about our lineups, I guess, let's talk about the 4-3-3 because neither of us went with the 4-3-3, right?
Well,
technically speaking.
For this segment?
Yeah.
I did both.
That's because you're lame.
I put together a 4-3-3 and a 5, whatever version of a 3-5-2, 3-4-2-1 Christmas tree on top sort of thing. I did both because I just, at the time when I was putting this together, I was like, what is he going to do? I better have both ready. So I came prepared, Brett.
Well, I assumed that we wouldn't go with the 4-3-3 because, quite frankly, that would mean that we'd go back to having Vines as a left back and instead of Bello.
Why couldn't Bello play the left back in a 4-3-3?
Bello's, I feel like his best attributes is getting into the attack. He's solid enough on the defense, getting back and challenging that. But I feel like he's best getting into the attack.
So I guess the question really becomes you got to look at Canada for this answer, right? Because Canada, their weakest part of their team right now is their defense and their midfield. Not K necessarily, but Osorio, I mean, it's just not a very impressive midfield or defense. Could Gregg take advantage by playing the same formation against Canada? And I think the answer is probably yes.
I think it adds more defensive sorry, when you say the same, you're talking about the same one we just saw, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that adds more defensive stability, especially given our players and their attributes and their deficiencies. So I think the 3-4-2-1, I think probably will work best for us.
Yeah.
Because that gives Moore and Bello the opportunity to push up into the attack, but then they can also check back, and then whoever else we have in the as those, I guess you can call them dueling 8s or dueling 6s or whatever the fuck they are. The Williamson Busio combination. And even they can check back and play defensively if need be.
And then Gregg
second time
could totally fuck us and go with like
a 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1.
No,
one
a 3-5-2. So that makes it even more complex. So
Playing with
Why
two
don't we just
strikers, it's never going to happen.
some version of I don't know. I'll do my best, you do your best, and we'll just see where this ends up. But I think the goalkeeper's Turner, so that's pretty easy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be pretty easy.
And if we're playing three in the back, it'll be the same three.
Absolutely. Zimmerman, Sands, and Robinson. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then if we're playing that formation, then you're going with Bello on the left and
Absolutely.
more on the right.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know, fuck Cannon at this point. No offense to Cannon. I'm just saying Moore
hasn't worked his way out of the position, so why would you take him out and
And
throw somebody cold in against a team we need to win?
And I understand Cannon's hammy's still hurting, so there's that too. Then let's pretend that we've got 5 more players to pick, and that could be anything from a 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3 to a 3-4-2-1, and I guess we'll just try our best here.
I'm going to flat out state that I'm going with the 3-4-2-1 that we saw today.
Okay.
Because I thought that as a whole for our players, I think that works out best.
So then who do you change? Being that DK, Hoppy, Williamson, Roldan, and Busio started in the last game, how does that change for you versus Canada?
So the replacements for the Busio Williamson is going to be a Busio Acosta.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have Leggett and Hoppy and then DK.
So you did do it again one more time for me.
Busio and Acosta. So Acosta takes Williamson's spot.
Okay.
And then Leggett takes Roldan's spot.
Yeah. That's pretty
That's what I'm going with.
If the only change that maybe I would make in that scenario was maybe Gio Caccini for Leggett, but I don't think
could be he was lighting on fire, but I don't think Leggett's going to be off this roster, so that means Leggett for Busio then.
Yeah. So I'm going with a 3-5-2. So I'm keeping Hoppy and DK up top. I may be horribly wrong. Maybe that's more of what
have we ever officially gone with a 2-man tandem? I know we ask for it every week, but
I know I'd like to see that, even if it's a 1-1.
I personally think that'd be a great duo for an up top striker. We talked about this, I think, in the last segment.
Yeah.
But I mean, having DK play that target role where the ball comes to him, he flicks it on with his head or his foot or whatever for a Hoppy who's cutting across him and getting behind the defense. I think it's a great tandem. I really do.
So for me, that's almost a 3-5-1-1, where Hoppy is the sort of second striker behind DK. I'd like to see that. So that's what I did.
But Derek, it's 2 strikers. It's never going to happen.
I know. But then Greg threw us a sort of curveball here. And I'm like, maybe he might try something even different, more different next time.
Could be. Let's mix it up. Why not? Fuck it.
So I'm going with DK up top with Hoppy playing underneath him. Like you, I have the same back 5. So we already agreed on that. So my 3 midfielders, I'm going with Busio, I'm going with Leggett, and I'm going with Acosta. So there you go.
So we have the same lineup except for just a different top 5 formation.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Same people, different sort of setup. And if you're right, it's not going to be much different if I'm right, because it's going to probably play quite similar. It'll be different depending on where the pieces are where they fall.
It'll be advertised as a 4-3-3, so we'll be fine.
But as Jimmy Conrad once told us, you guys are idiots about talking about so much about formations. So there's that too. All right. Well, thank you for everybody for tuning in to our best guess at this point at what Greg is going to do. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, send a card to somebody, like write a letter, like mail it, because that's old school. people get cards and they're like, oh, I got a card from somebody. Oh, they wrote shit on the card. Do it. People feel good about it. Don't just
There's
send
no
it
junk mail for the mailbox. Can't go into the junk mail folder. You're good. They're gonna see it.
Exactly. People like a personal message every once in a while.
Especially if you put money in there. People love opening up cards and getting money.
You put money in it, it's a bonus. So this is our humanitarian message of the week. All right. Take care, folks.